Welcome to Calfee Farms in Corryton, Tennessee. Today we're doing a land clearing project here on the farm. There's an area that's been overgrown for quite some time where we practice the multi-species grazing approach. We've got our llama here, and we have some of our other goats, all of our Spanish goats, or most of them, here. And we are clearing a new piece of land here. It's kind of overgrown, and it's got some thistle. And you can see our steer in the background here, bulldozing his way through some ragweed and some thistle. There's some of our goats, even the little ones, clear land for us. There's a yearling doe, and they're just disappearing in here into the woods. This is about a quarter acre of overgrown. You can't even see through it to the other side. And you see some thistle. There's some cedar, low-hanging cedar. We got some cherry trees here. It's alright that they eat it as long as it's still attached to the tree. If a branch was to break off, or we were to cut a branch or it's to fall over, it would be poisonous to the goats, or any livestock really that is herbivorous. But as you can see, the goats are just in here, been in it for about not even 5 minutes, and we've already got a little path. Looks like our steer, he kind of is like a bulldozer. He'll go through it and push his way through, and then the goats go behind him. They know to go behind him, and he clears out anything in the way as far as brush or old fence. There's an old fence row in here from when we had our cattle farm years ago, back in the 80s. Well, from 1940s all the way up through about mid-90s. We had a registered Simmental beef calf operation, and we got rid of the cattle, and the farm sat idle, and that's why we got into the goat business in the first place. And we saw how valuable they were at clearing out land, and our goats have taught our steer here, T-Bone, to clear out land. And so you can just barely see his butt right there as he's pushing through, breaking branches off and eating as he goes. But there's cherry, there's some wildflowers in there, there's some blackberries that are getting ready to bloom. There's some fescue, there's some privet hedge in there. There's multiflora rose, a ton of poison ivy in there, but you can kind of, I don't know how the lighting is, but you can kind of see some of the goats there. See an ear tag, and those goats are already at it. Our Spanish goats are the absolute best for clearing off land. There's some cherry, looks like a dogwood right there. There's some flowers, maybe chamomile, I'm not for sure. Wild grapes, possum grapes right here. We've got some possum grapes, and we just kind of temporaried a fence out through here with some electric and woven wire to give them a physical and a painful barrier. So the cedar tree fell, and that was preventing us from finishing our fence, and it fell in the wind yesterday. But you can see T-Bone's in there just laying down some land there. And we've got even the baby goats are in here seeing what's up. Got some more wild possum grapes, some trumpet vine or hummingbird vine. There's some cedar brush, they'll probably eat that. There's some ironweed in there, persimmon. There's some looks like sycamore. They've already gone about 20 feet into here, and it was unpassable. You couldn't see. The dogs couldn't even make it through. But we've got the little ones right here. Even the little ones participate in brush clearing. Got this little one right here, if you can see. You got some right here. There's my girl Snaggle. There's some babies. There's some. There's a little buck in there, a little Spanish buck. There's a yearling doe right there. So we've got the whole part of the herd in there, just clearing out brush. And this is high protein stuff. Brush and browse and all that stuff is high protein for the goats. I don't know what these white flowers are. They might be chamomile. If you know what they are, put a little message down there and let us know what it is. But you can see T-Bone in here. He's even started to chew like a goat. There he is. He's in there. He's killing it. He is killing it. He's eating all kinds of brush. Right in there like a goat. So they've taught him well. But you've got the whole herd in here. Like I say, this fence is awful right here. We've just temporaried the fence, so we've got part of the herd out here, some of the little ones out here, some of them in there. So we've got lots. There's my girl Crybaby, and there's Bailey, and they're just going through here wearing it out. They love this new stuff. They will climb fences to get to it. There's Crybaby. There's Bailey right there. She's going to come back over. Still kind of skittish when it comes to new land where they can't see the bottom of it. So Crybaby will just go in there and take a few bites and turn around and come back. But you can see down here maybe where they're already down here along the fence just clearing. There's Snaggle. There she is. And so I'll give it about 2 weeks and they'll have it cleaned out. Maybe 2 weeks. Like I said, it's about a 1/4 acre and it is so thick. It has got hedge, it has got thorns of all kinds, briars of all kinds, wild raspberry, wild blackberry. And see, Carl, he takes care of the upstairs stuff. He gets the tree branches and leaves off the branches and stuff and keeps it out of our top strand of electric fence. But you can kind of hear the goat bells in there. Here comes Matilda right there. She's a big old girl. And she's our lone Weinheimer Spanish doe. She's a big girl. She loves to clear brush. They're a little nervous, but you can hear them in there, and they'll get the underbrush first. And they'll get the stuff on the ground first, and then they'll climb. I've got one in there climbing a tree, part of a tree. And what they do is they go in here and take this vegetation that's not worth anything to anybody, and they clear it out. And then their manure fertilizes the ground, so then we can go back through and cut some of the brushy stuff out, the woody stuff, and plant it in pasture. So we're reclaiming parts of our farm. You see Snaggle right there. She's climbing a fence looking for some of that privet rose, or that hedge. Still not too sure about the going in there. Now she's going. See, even this little one right here at about a month, or about 2 months old. And there's a yearling doe right there, her mama. and she's clearing brush. Here comes a little buck that's not even a month old yet, and so he's in there clearing. You got one climbing up a tree right here. Okay, so Crybaby has lost her fear. She is now deciding that a meal is worth being a little scared, so she's up here in this tree. Feet still on the ground, but up in the tree. And we're redoing this fence with wire panel. There's a bunch of thistle. And most of it, Carl has gone through and nipped the purple blooms off of it and eaten them. And then when it gets a little bit later in summer, they'll eat the thistle and all. So we got Carl over here. He don't like big groups of goats and stuff, so he's kind of watching out back this way while they're in the woods over here, part of his guardian instinct. And he's standing over watch over this mama and her baby right here that are new baby, about 2-week-old baby. And he's standing watch over some of the mamas and babies. There's some right here. There's one right here we bought from Miss Janet Bush at Ambush Farms. Her and Snaggle. And she's a pretty good brush clearer. Went all the way up to Ohio to get that girl. She's a dandy. But we've got mama and baby right over here. You usually have one or two mamas that kind of hang back and watch all the babies. Sometimes it's a juvenile or a yearling doe that's not had any kids yet. They'll stick back. It might be a sister from last year or something, but they pretty social animals, believe it or not. And here comes some of the babies right here to come check out the new playground they've got. Already browsing, which is amazing. But this whole bit right here, there's Carl back in there. He's clearing the high stuff, and then our calf, Angus calf or steer T-bone, he takes out the middle stuff, and the goats take out the low stuff and the medium stuff. So we've got a good bit of brush and stuff. So we'll end this here. Thanks for watching our video. If you like us, come visit us at www.calfeefarms.net, our Facebook page, Calfee Farms, or you can visit us on our YouTube channel, Calfee Farms. Thank you, God bless, and have a good day.